Hey everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Sean.
And I'm Sarah.
And we just wanted to kind of give you a brief overview of what our new channel's all about and the new company that we set up as well. So first off, the cloth part. We are going to be talking to you about cloth nappies, how to, whys, and all the different guides and tips about everything cloth. A passion very close to Sarah's heart at the moment.
Yes.
But the other thing that we'll be doing through this channel is raising awareness of something that's really close to both of our hearts.
The last year has been really difficult for so many reasons. Obviously, I think for anyone having a new baby is a challenge and it can be an emotional time for anyone. However, my pregnancy with my most recent baby, who is here, was a particularly stressful time for us because we were told when I was 4 months pregnant that there was a strong likelihood that our baby was critically ill to the point she might not survive the pregnancy. We were told that she had trisomy 18, Edwards syndrome, and a lot of tests indicated that she could have this condition, and given that 90% of the time these babies do not even survive the pregnancy, we were obviously pretty distraught, and it was a really challenging time for us.
Yeah, it was obviously a difficult time. There was plenty of tests that we had to go through, and ultimately being told that your child had less than 1% chance of survival, unfortunately, was pretty daunting. But thanks to a lot of perseverance and research by Sarah, we found out that there was a glimmer of hope, and actually a lot of the stats didn't necessarily add up to what we were being told, and science didn't really support that. So, you know, we made a few contacts with a few different people, and we got additional tests done as well. And, you know, thanks to some amazing people in the NHS, we got some, you know, really good support, and we're able to kind of look at things.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty, but follow-up tests indicated that, and longer term tests, and the tests went on for a couple of months, and they were in limbo, and actually the entire pregnancy was plagued with uncertainty. But a couple of months into the tests, we found out that there was a chance of something called Mosaicism, which increased babies' likelihood of being healthy. But what Mosaicism is, it can be a form of a trisomy, which, because the tests were initially done in the placenta, it wasn't clear how much baby was going to be affected, and that ultimately, in a nutshell, was telling us that baby may not be as impacted by the trisomy as what was initially thought, because normally the placenta and baby's chromosomes match, but in our case they didn't. But we weren't sure to what degree, because what Mosaicism is saying is that placenta has some cells that are healthy and some that are not. Some had a chromosome, some did not. And so the degree that baby may or may not be affected due to this mutation was not clear. So we had a series of scans going right up into my final trimester. I was under a specialist at our local hospital, having scans pretty much right up until the birth to make sure baby was developing okay. And in our case, she's come out seeming completely perfect.
And at the beginning of the year, Sarah did a fundraiser for a charity called Soft, which is all about helping to raise awareness and offer support for people in similar situations to what we were in as well.
It's Soft's basically set up a support for families affected by trisomy, and it's particularly looking at trisomy 13 and trisomy 18, so that's Edwards and Patau's syndrome. So Edwards is trisomy 18 and Patau's is trisomy 13. So that's a number of the chromosome where there's a duplicate copy. So most babies and most human beings will have only 2 copies of each chromosome, whereas what trisomy is saying is that there can be a third copy of that chromosome, and the impact of that third chromosome can be catastrophic health difficulties, but there's no telling which part of the body might be impacted. Where there's mosaicism, and the degree to which a child will be affected or a baby affected will vary on a case by case.
That's it. And at the end of the day, we came out lucky, and that was due to perseverance, a lot of research, and looking into all of these things. And we're not here to say what the right answer is, what the wrong answer is, but what we can do is offer support to people who've also gone through this as well. So obviously, if you have any questions at all, be sure to get in contact with us. You can get in contact with us through a Facebook group, through our Instagram account, through our Patreon, or in the comments below as well, whatever suits you. And that's it, you know, this page is going to be all about that. It's about supporting parents going forward. It's about supporting parents to be as well. We've got the fun side, which is all about cloth and the how-tos, the guide, the reviews, and then we've got the more serious side of it, which is down to the mosaicism and supporting people with that as well. So we're launching a store which will be going live at the same time as this video, and half of the proceeds made from that, so half the profits that we make, will be dedicated and given to the charity Soft, just to support their amazing work that they're doing. We'll also have a Patreon page set up as well, and the profits from that, so anything that's left over that's not given to the charity, will then go back into this channel to support us in growing it, to support us in bringing you amazing information, and just helping support you guys as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I think ultimately, because what Soft is about is supporting families affected by trisomy, not necessarily just mosaicism. Yes, mosaicism is what we were managing at that point, and that occurs in 1 to 2% of the pregnancies impacted by pregnancy, but impacted by trisomy, even 1 to 2% of pregnancies impacted by trisomy will ultimately involve mosaicism, and I think 5% of living cases of trisomy are mosaic in terms of what the research tells us anyway. There's a lot of unknowns around it. Ultimately though, what I feel that we would be supporting would be any family that's impacted by trisomy 13 and 18 through basic donating a lot of our funds to Soft, so support for families impacted by trisomy, because I think historically babies haven't survived the trisomy, so it's been seen as a condition that's incompatible with life. And actually we were given very bleak odds very early on in the pregnancy, and I know that in the majority of cases people who would have had the test results we had would have terminated pregnancies.
yes.
And statistically that's very much is what the evidence tells us. And just the thought that we wouldn't have our beautiful baby makes me feel really sad. And that's not about judging anyone, because obviously if people choose to terminate pregnancies on that basis, then absolutely you have to do what is right for you. But it's about making sure that people are informed and have the correct information, and actually people are supported in whatever their decision may or may not be, because another choice people have is sometimes they'll continue the pregnancy, and where there is full-blown eders and patos, there's a strong likelihood of stillbirth and losing baby early on in their lives. So it's also about supporting families around that loss and actually living with a baby that may have complex health needs also.
Definitely, that's it. And you know, we've learned a lot as we've gone through this process ourselves. It's been a very personable thing for us. So Sarah is like a textbook now. The amount of research that she has done on this is very thorough. So we feel that we have a lot to offer in respect to that and supporting people as well. So as I mentioned, any questions at all, any support that you need, by all means reach out to us and we will do our best to support you with that. Any questions that people have about this, be free to ask, and we will do our best to offer that up to you in future videos alongside the fun stuff to do with all the cloth as well. So we really hope that you'll join us on this journey going forward. Hit the like and subscribe button to join us along this way, and we'll be bringing you lots of news, reviews and fun stuff to do with cloth nappies, sticking babies in these, but then also the more serious stuff of mosaicism, trisomy and all of that, and supporting our fans and people who come along with us. So take care and we'll be back soon.
Thank you.